Oh, wow, wow, wow. That's all I've got to say is wow. So I made a video, really it was like, so here's the idea, right? This is going to be me kind of rambling a little bit, but I just want to start off by just kind of throwing a few things out. The video I made was basically, I was watching gameplay of the Forever Winter, sort of my first sort of real gameplay experience watching somebody else play it at the moment, at this current time, before it was early access released on 24th, I believe. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, there's a video that's come up, 24 plus minutes by Big Fry TV. I then saw a video immediately after it saying I played the game wrong, right? So there's two videos I have to choose from, a 20 plus minute one or an 11 minute one, I believe it was. So in my mind I'm thinking, well, I'd love to watch both, but I think I'm going to go with the 11 minute one. One, because it's a lot shorter and it's more easy to digest, and if it's the correct way, maybe there was a lot of mistakes made and they've been learned from in this new video. So I did that, I watched that, and the response to this video has been insane. Now for me, with someone who's got less than 1,000 subscribers, who's had a bit of time struggling with growing my sub count and growing my channel, and you know, I know reaction content is always like, you know, it's frowned upon, no one really likes it, but I've done a lot more than just reaction content. I've done a lot of stuff in the past. My channel didn't grow from reactions, my channel grew from gameplay. You can go back and check it out if you want. But I love discussions, I love talking about games, I love, you know, people who are smarter than me and tell me how it is. Like, I always hold my hands up and say I got it wrong. In this instance, when I was watching the video made by Big Fry and then hearing about their experiences with the Forever Winter, you know, like, yeah, I just, you know, I just kind of took it at face value and said, okay, you know, didn't dissuade me from wanting to get the game, didn't dissuade me from wanting to invest in on early access. But then the comments have been flooding in, and this is probably one of the most commented videos I've got on my entire YouTube channel. Is tons and tons of comments, and I love comments, I love reading comments. So I did my best to respond to every single one of you, and I also did, if you're watching now by the way, I also did my best to, you know, make sure I read all your points. And the general kind of feeling I get, okay, oh, before we continue, one more thing I want to say is this is not like a focus on Big Fry at all. Like, I don't know who Big Fry is, I don't know who you are, apologies if you've watched the video and whatever, but I don't know who you are. Good luck with everything, and I hope it all goes well, and you know, good luck with all your projects and your everything. I just don't know you, you know, and yeah, really just your content was there for me to consume. But yeah, speaking of, so yeah, I am then watching, you know, I'm reading these comments and they're flooding in, and the general kind of like what I can tell is there's two sides. There is the early access discussion, and then there's the beta discussion, or what is it, you know, is the game ready discussions kind of thing. Is it ready to be released? And the conversations in the comments are basically coming down to, like, you know, the game's early access. By definition, by Steam's kind of description, is that this game may change at any point. Early access is not a final product, it's still in development. You know, by purchasing this, you understand that there's going to be bugs and glitches, and you know, please report it to Steam communities or the community, and it'll be responded to. That's what I kind of get. You know, you kind of get what you pay for. You're paying for early access, and you're accessing a game early that isn't fully finished yet, but is ready for, you know, general public consumption, general public play, but it needs to be worked on. And then there's the flip side where this game isn't ready yet, it shouldn't be released like this, you shouldn't be charging people $24 or pounds or whatever it is to play a game that is not complete. And the general comments though were all kind of, you know, some were geared towards kind of the experience that Big Fry had, and you know, the play style, the general kind of, you know, this was done wrong. You're in the wrong area. Your weaponry isn't good enough. You don't have the lighting source. You can't see any enemies. You shouldn't be looting things so they can hear you. You can hear the radios talking. You were told that you were being hunted, even though that what was hunting or what killed Big Fry wasn't actually a hunter killer, which was coming after him, was actually Europa soldiers. Tons and tons in that. the one thing that everyone kind of did agree on was the aesthetic of the game was beautiful, it was gorgeous, gorgeous. These cutscenes are incredible, they look really nice. I love that dystopian kind of feel. I said this before, it's got that time splitters look about it. And yeah, the whole kind of like conversation then was like, you know, was aimed towards it, like, you know, is the game, you know, fair? You know, the HUD is completely empty. There was nothing on the HUD, even in this cutscene now I'm looking at, there's nothing on the HUD. You know, it's all on your main screen. You aim at something and it highlights it, and then you get it. There was a lack of loot in what I saw from Big Fry. I know I've been recommended other videos, but I don't want to go on a massive deep dive and start dissecting every single person's video that makes this. I really want to have my experience with it, and it's just, I don't want to say unfortunate, but it's just a luck of the draw, or a luck of the refresh and the algorithm that I got Big Fry's. You know, it just came up. If it was somebody else that came up first, it would have been like, that would have been the video. You know what I'm saying? So I generally think that, you know, from all the conversations I've had with people in the comment section, and please, I recommend you check the comments out. There's tons of them there. Give them a read if you're really invested in grabbing the Forever Winter or getting early access. But the conversations are coming to a point of where, you know, the consensus is that, yeah, it needs work. There are things in the game that do, you know, need to be looked at and developed. But then that comes into, you know, should you play early access? You know, are you aware that this game is not quite there? It's getting there, but it's not quite there. It's been in development. It's now in a playable state for people, but it just needs a bit more work. When you're paying for early access, you pay for the privilege, you pay for the right, you pay for the, you know, the essence, you pay for your comment to be heard, your opinion to be voiced. You know, there's a Discord server, I believe, that you can talk about it on. You know, people were given, I believe, access to the game earlier than the early access, so they could play it and get their reviews out, or their talking points, and that is an incredible thing. And that's what, you know, a lot of people are going to see, that massive YouTubers, people with a massive viewership, bigger than mine, of course, you know, less than 1,000 subs. You've got people that are 445k, 400k, you know, huge YouTubers that have done this for a long time, and with over 1.5k videos, you know, things like that. They're going to put their voice out, and a lot of people are going to see that. And it's very important that, you know, that the honesty comes across, the integrity comes across. What I feel a lot of people said was that Big Fry's comments weren't very honest. They were very kind of geared towards a very different. I mean, it wasn't everybody that said this, but the general consensus for a lot of the comments were what he just wasn't happy with the game, and it came out in his kind of vocal tone, his description, and his play style came across as he wasn't interested. It wasn't for him. He wasn't the target audience. Which, you know, again, I don't know Big Fry's content, but I've seen from comments that he does a lot of FPSs and run and gun type games. So again, that's what I'm reading. I've not done any research into that. Maybe I should have. That's on me. Again, I can make mistakes, and I'm willing to admit that. But I will also say that, you know, the content and the entire of the you know video, I think was very well put together, and he was told by his comments how to play. I'm sure everybody, you know, has their own ways of looking at, you know, how to play a game and how it should be played. My comment was that things like this giant mech here, things like that, you know, you wouldn't go toe to toe with it because you get ruined. You know, it wouldn't happen. You know, realistically, you're gonna run. And so the idea is, I think there was a bit too much lackadaisical, kind of like, you know, or if I see anything, I'm not going to fight anything because I'll just get destroyed anyway. What's the point? Where I think that there's a theme is that, you know, you scavenge, you hunt, you build, you craft, you come back stronger and stronger and stronger until eventually you are strong enough to maybe take on these things. You know, whereas, you know, you keep falling to get back up and eventually become, you know, stronger. And you know, the game definitely kind of has that kind of, you know, if you know every man left behind, you know, you're never going to be, no one's ever going to go back and pick you up. You just, you know, you're out for yourself sort of thing. So yeah, I really think that, like, a lot of the comments and that really did dissect it quite a lot. So yeah, I'm not picking any out in particular. I'm just going to grab a couple that I see, and just kind of go through them. I did reply to a lot, so a lot of my stuff has already been kind of spoken about. But let's have a look. I've got some more recent ones that came in, and maybe some older ones that maybe I obviously, that, you know, it's been quite a hefty amount. So let's have a quick look at those. Of course, as you can see, there is a lot of comments. I've replied to as many as I can. If you want to check these comments out, it's Boyman Beard on YouTube, and yeah, it's everything's there for everybody to see. So yeah, I mean, like yeah, like the comment here, like this one came from about 7 hours ago, but I haven't read this one, I don't think. But let's take this one as a kind of an example of comments. Like the kind of comments I was getting, which is why I love comments. I love reading it because it's people's kind of ideas and their breakdowns. I feel like I kind of relate, and I always kind of bring things back to kind of my experiences, and they always seem to mesh up with other people's. And then even if you don't agree, you have a very, very hard stance, and you just say this is how it is, bang, done. You know, so think back to the days when movies like Red Dawn came out, not the remake, the original, and that hit and run mentality and scavenging resources. In this game, you are not the MC or pro tag, you are a nobody trying to survive in hell and live one more day with food and water. This is not a soldier game, so if you think it is, this is EFT or any other extraction shooter where you fight shit at defense and die quickly and the other players are not for you. This is PvE survival extraction. Everything about on the board isn't effing Titan from Attack on Titan. You're a normal citizen, basically. So that's kind of that's a massive breakdown, and kind of like, you know, you're a hit and run artist scavenging for, you know, items and resources to survive another day. And I think that's the kind of the running theme of a lot of the comments. You know, just randomly scroll down, like I said, there's a lot of comments, you know, talking about the hunter killers we talked about in the video, so if you watch the video you'll understand. But here, hunter killers are not specified troops or robots that are sent to kill you. These can but not be limited to a different normal units, mechs or special enemies like a grabber or a toothy, your best friend and body recycler. See, this is great breakdown, stuff I didn't know about. They are hunting you down, so if you get this message, you maybe should stop looting and try to extract. Reasons to get a hunter killer sent after you are killing too many enemies of one faction or having too many valuables. Not sure about that one though, or how much you can actually have. So in the video there was not Big Fry did grab a few bits of gear, but I'm not sure how that triggered the hunter killers. I would have to understand a bit more about the loot system to kind of really have an opinion on that, so I wouldn't be sure. Or it can be a bug. So yeah, it could be a bug. Like I said, early access, there could be bugs, issues, glitches, things that need to be ironed out. But sometimes a massive amount of player base that gets into your game and you keep getting the same comment back saying there's an issue here you didn't pick up on, we'll fix it. Boom, done. You've just spent your $24 pounds very well because people are listening to you, and that's what's missing in the industry. If we go back and listen to the mission statement from the developers, they talk about that in a mission statement. They're there to listen and get feedback and correct. You know, no one gets it right the first time. Cyberpunk didn't. I mean, the guys that made the Sonic film didn't. I mean, God, we could go through tons of stuff. They got Concord definitely didn't. You know, some things can be fixed, some things can't be. So, you know, that are the infos I have from the Discord. Okay, yeah, they don't have to be accurate or the same in the newest build. About that, don't forget this is the fairly old build, and the EA will be more, early access will be more polished. So this build is this build might be old then. So I never read this comment. So if this is true, if this isn't a build that is not early, this is not the early access build. This could be an older build. I don't know, but this is it. So I'm not in the Discord. So I mean, well, a lot of Discords. But when I get the early access and I'm on it, I will definitely join, and you know, I'd love to put my feedback into there and talk about it more. I mean, if we just run down again. Again here from Rory here, one thing to remember is that this is early access. The devs themselves said that there are still a lot of work to do. Big Fry died again because he took too long to get through the map, so hunter killer squads are deployed. You could hear the proximity radio chat out before he was attacked. Hunter killers know where you are, and if you manage to kill them, more will come soon after, so you make sure it's time to leg it. Big DSP vibes from that guy. I don't know who DSP is. I have no idea who DSP is. But I'm not here to judge Big Fry on his playstyle, how he played the game. That's not what I'm here to do. What I was here to do is really kind of see another gamer's perspective. And there are plenty of other perspectives out there, and I could sit here all day watching them. But you know, it's one of those things where there's so much content that keeps coming. There's so many things I want to talk about and get into. For everyone, there's always on my radar, and we're not even that far. We've got 4 more days, so there's no point me going down and getting another breakdown and talking about it when I could just get the game and break it down myself. But yeah, generally I think, like, you know, the conversation is definitely, you know, what is early access, what is a beta, you know, is it early access a beta or is a beta early access? How do we define the two? Betas you don't pay for, you get them for free, you're invited them, you get a code and you play the game. Early access you pay for, but what flag does that fall under? A beta flag with a price tag, or what is that, you know? And I think the conversation in the comments, when you read them, it does break it down into this kind, like I say, it breaks it down to those kind of two arguments. And it also, well, sorry, discussions. I wouldn't say arguments. There was no argument really. Obviously, people have their strongest opinions, but I appreciate that. I appreciate an opinion. I might not agree with it, and I might not really take it on board and be like, but thank you for your comment. But yeah, I love this. You know, I love this interaction. It's one of my biggest interactive videos, and you know, big shout outs to Big Fry for the content and allow me to kind of use it, because I could have been slapped with her. You know, don't do this, motherfucker. Don't steal my shit. And I know people get like stick for reaction content, so. But I really, you know, really do enjoy it, and I think that the Forever Winter is going to be a great game, you know, when it comes out, and I think it will do very well. And you know, these sort of games never really pop up on my radar, but then for me, I'm all about the world. It's like, you know, it's all about the world. You know, you could take a game that nobody, you might not like a game at all, but as soon as someone drops you in that world, and you're just entranced by it, the world just encapsulates. You just can't get enough of the world. The world really does, you know, pull you in. Such an amazing thing, and I think that's what's done here. It's like, you know, I don't own a lot of these style of games. You know, I never really went into Helldivers and the one that came after that. But this sort of game is one that you can just pick up, play, scavenge, loot, and grow yourself. You know, there's no real kind of pressure on you to, you know, kind of, you know, get good quick, you know, sucker. But like, you know, again, this is, you know, this is great feedback for me, and it's great, you know, to see all these comments. And thank you again. So I didn't mention it earlier, but the subscriber count has just gone up crazy, and I really hope you enjoy coming back to the channel and watching what I have to say or what I will do. You know, I'll always keep posting as much as I can. Some videos may be interesting, some things will just be pertaining to me because I enjoy it, you know. And yeah, but really that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. If you have any comments, you know, if you do manage to read these comments and go through it, and you have an opinion, or you want to talk about it some more, drop a comment on this video, let me know. And yeah, I'm also working towards a Silent Hill 2 early access key on Keynailer. I've also got a little short out about that. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's short. You can, you know, follow that one, or share it, or whatever you do. You know, it'd be cool to get that as well, because I love. See, Silent Hill. Imagine compare this game to Silent Hill, and I'm talking about Silent Hill. But yeah, pretty much it. Really, to be honest, that is the topic I wanted to talk about, and it's more of a thank you. It's more of a thank you so much for the comments, thank you so much for the subscribers. Really appreciate the conversations you've all put in there. Thank you so much to Big Fry for the video and watching that, and you know, and I gotta say, you know, it's helped my channel, and I think that's what we should do as YouTubers, big ones. You know, put out some great, fantastic content, have a great community and people that watch. Someone else watches their content, has an opinion or has a good discussion about it. It then feeds them into a new person, and it just goes down the line. I hope one day I could be sitting in a position of, you know, like high subscriber counts, and you know, able to have people watch my videos and then talk about them and disagree with me, agree with me, have a conversation with me about it, and me call them out and say, you know, like, thanks so much for your feedback, and respond to them. It's incredible. I love that sort of thing. Really awesome, and connected with gamers on a real level, not through comments but through video interactions, and kind of a sort of a semi face-to-face discussion. But yeah, that's been my take on the Forever Winter early access, or whatever it is, the conversation. Again, thank you so much, and keep your eyes open for, you know, more videos that drop, and subscribe if you like, and make sure you check out all the other stuff I did before all of this, because I did do gaming videos. I do play stuff, alright. It's just sometimes it's easier to talk to a camera and talk to people than it is to play a game, because yeah, oh, how many hours are there in the day, you know. Anyway, catch you later, and nice one.